one of the things I'm going to go into our next segment. We're talking about the presidential alert.
Yeah, that one.
All right. So
it's boy 45, right?
On Thursday at 2:18 p.m. Eastern Time, everyone's going to get a text message from Trump. Well, from FEMA, and it's called a presidential alert. Now, we're all familiar with Amber Alerts, right? We're all familiar with emergency alerts, right?
Yep.
That on your TV scares the shit out of you all the time. Yep. Okay. And you know the Amber Alert, and you get this thing, and it's somebody that's child is missing. Well, at 2:18 p.m. on Thursday, they are going to be testing the presidential alert, and it's supposed to be so that the president can go to you directly to your phone and let you know that there's an emergency. I already get those alerts on my phone when there's a flood or some impending weather emergency going on. I already get them. Why they feel like they need to do this, I don't know, but that's what's going to happen. So don't get scared, because guess what? Even though you can't opt out of Amber Alerts, you cannot opt out of presidential alert. So you're going to get it regardless.
What's the details on the presidential alert? Like, what is it?
So it's supposed to be like a FEMA thing. They're using FEMA as an excuse. But like I said, I already get flash flood. I already get thunderstorm. I already get all that. So but that's what they're using it under. And what I was saying about power the people, etc., was also what came out last week. And this segment is the presidential alert, but you're going to see how this all ties into each other in a second.
Yep.
The president denied the fact that all these independent research companies, all these people that came out and said 3,000 people died in Puerto Rico, he's saying it's not true. Whatever. Not whatever, because that's serious as hell. But, okay. He will not admit that FEMA fucked it up. They just found, like you told me, it was pallets and pallets of water that could have been distributed to people. Crates and crates and crates of water in Puerto Rico.
It was crates.
Remember, Puerto Rico cannot vote in federal election.
Yep.
Keep that in mind. Everything that this person does and everything that most of them do caters toward their base. They have no reason to try to impress these people in Puerto Rico because they can't vote. That's fucked up, but that's basically what it is. Everybody is saying it's racist. Everybody is saying it's like, he's like, doesn't care because they're brown. He doesn't care because they can't vote. Because if this happens somewhere over here, well, it did, and we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Then it's like, then all the hell will be raised.
Yeah, most definitely.
So like I said, the alert's going to go out 2:18 on Thursday. Mm-hmm. If the people in North Carolina had this, which they did, because I'm not going to lie, I give credit where credit is due. They did a damn good job predicting this storm. I'm talking about last week sometime they were saying that North Carolina and South Carolina was going to get jacked up.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're going to send this alert out. They're blaming it, saying it's because of FEMA. Yeah. FEMA is falling apart. FEMA last week, they had an issue with Brock Long. Brock Long is the head of FEMA. They want to get him fired.
Should have been fired.
But they chose the week that a category potential at that time storm.
Yeah, it's the wrong time to try to do that.
Category 4 was coming to the United States. They talking about they want to fire the head of FEMA.
Yeah.
Because guess what? He misused the company cars, or he misused the vehicles. Whatever. Can we talk about this after the storm? It's basically what some of the people were saying.
Most definitely, because I think that FEMA's purpose, you as an organization, you can't function properly if your CEO is already being fired. And especially during prime time when you have all these storms happening. So, I mean, I find that very irrational and dumb. But I remember as well when you told me about FEMA and ICE. So what exactly is going on with that? So the government took allegedly $10 million from FEMA and gave it to ICE. That's a lot of money.
So they're saying that that's just a fraction of money. Like, that wasn't a big deal. They didn't need it. They needed more for people to train people and for operations at ICE because, that's one of the things that he stands on, the fact that he wants immigration to be better. He wants to build the wall. He wants to kick people out.
Right.
So forget whatever FEMA needs, because apparently FEMA's good. They got so much money, they could take $10 million and give it to ICE.
Yeah.
Forget the storms, forget the insurance, forget FEMA is a part of the Department of Homeland Security. So it's supposed to be bad, of course, when we have a storm, because that kind of like messes with the protection of our borders, because the borders are messed up. So I don't see how they were able to move all this money over, but hey, that's what they did.
That's wild.
So I guess when you guys need FEMA in North and South Carolina, you're going to get it right away because they got money to burn, apparently. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how the government handles this storm, because according to the statistics, only 1 in 4 homeowners in that area has flood insurance, because it's not a place that regularly floods. But this is not a storm that regularly happens. And what we talked about in a previous episode about FEMA last year after Hurricane Harvey, you don't know where the flood zone is when it's raining for 5 days. Everything is a flood zone. Unless you stop this, it don't flood in my neighborhood, because unless your neighborhood comes with an umbrella, it floods in your neighborhood when it rains long enough. Just like every dog bites because it has teeth.
Yeah.
If it rains long enough, it's going to flood anywhere. And it's been raining in North Carolina since what? What is today? Today's
Sunday.
So it's been raining since like Thursday or Friday?
Yeah. Almost 4 or 5 days. That's crazy. And I think that it's weird, too, like all this money that's just constantly circulating, too, because MSNBC, they said that many of the transfers came from key national security programs. And I think that the total amount was $202 million.
Oh, my God.
And that's a lot of money that's just being thrown around. And I think that FEMA, they got over 1.8. ICE, I think they got up to like 10 million. So I don't know exactly what all of this is for, but seeing this is pretty interesting. So
well, they're saying that they need to fund detention operations for ICE. So they need to build more jails for the detainees, is what they're saying.
Got you.
So like going back to lobbying and all that stuff, like if the prison department, how it's, if they go to them and say, yo, like, we need money, or we're going to build more prisons so they can keep that shit going. Since they're getting rid of like marijuana convictions and stuff like that, they're losing prisoners. So they're going to fill them up now with.
They're losing money too.
So they're going to have to fill them up with people from other countries that are allegedly illegal immigrants.
But are they really losing money? Because even with the marijuana thing, you still get fines for it.
True.
They still fining people, so you get.
That is very true.
Fines.
Yeah.
But the fines are not going to be as much as a conviction.
Having a prisoner.
I mean, having a body, you get paid for each body.
Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking I would think it would kind of even out, because they got to pay for the meals.
True.
They still got to feed these people.
Yeah.
They got to pay for to keep the facilities clean and all that. So the operational cost.
It's a business, and it's crazy. And also, if you guys haven't heard as well, that some of the prisoners that they were trying to be like left behind, or the correction officers that were trying to leave them left behind.
Leave them.
Yeah, that was.
But it didn't get bad around there, thank God. But I mean, as a prisoner, you're a possession of the state, so they can do what they want to do once you get behind
state property.
bars.
Yeah, that's very true.
So I hope they get it right at FEMA, because the Department of Homeland Security. One of those departments, the leader, they don't even have one yet. Like, that position hasn't been filled since Donald Trump became, he's supposed to appoint people. And he started appointing people. People started leaving. Remember all that? Well, this is one of the places that, one of the departments that still wasn't able to find anybody.
Wow.
Yeah. And also, North Carolina, when it came time to vote, they voted against having building infrastructure that would keep them at a higher level if there was a storm. Like, you know how everyone is saying due to global warming, the tides are higher, the sea levels are rising? North Carolina was one of the states that voted against using the knowledge that was gained during these during these tests to build. And one of the lobbyists was like, the mortgage,
it cost too much or something like that?
No. One of the lobbyists in North Carolina is like a developing firm. People that build those homes, they have lobbyists too. So they're saying
I didn't know that.
Oh, never mind. We're not gonna pay attention to the sea level. Let's build all these places here and make money. So North Carolina agreed to do that. So if you bought some of those properties, I mean,
that's on you.
That's on you.
It's weird though because usually it's like Louisiana, Florida. That's always in the hurricane season.
Remember Florida was getting hit like every month. Like
so
one
I think
season?
now seeing South Carolina, North Carolina, this is just weird. Like for the first time seeing this. So right.
You saw that a couple of years ago. What was the one that was in Jersey?
Oh yeah, it was in
Sandy.
Jersey, right?
Sandy.
Hurricane Sandy. You're right. I forgot about that. That was like 2013.
That was like to me, like great. It doesn't happen here often, but it happens. You live on the ocean.
And now you're seeing this happening in different areas. Like
Yeah.
The point you was getting at, like it's happening along that whole coast.
Right. Hey, that's very interesting, but we'll see.
Yeah. You live near the ocean. You can get hit with storm surge, with flooding, all of that. Like nobody's exempt. If you live anywhere within a 10-mile radius of the ocean, just keep that in mind. Like, but you know what? Some people don't even know that.
Yeah.
Like when Hurricane Sandy hit Jersey, a lot of my friends were like, yo, no, dude, you know that the ocean is like 10 miles away from here? Like, you probably need to get out of there, or you need to pay attention to what's going on. Yeah. You don't know if creeks are by your house. You don't know if rivers are by your house. A lot of my homies, back when Harvey happened last year, they didn't know they had a bayou by their house. They didn't know that they lived near the water treatment facility. They didn't know they lived by a dam. Like,
you're talking about bodies of water.
Word.
So during a hurricane, it gets real. That's very true. That's very true.
So, go back to what we were saying before. Watch who you vote for, because these people that are getting funded by people that have their own interests, of course they don't want you to stop building right there. They're going to make money off that real estate. So the real estate lobbyists don't care if you build your house a foot away from the ocean. Yeah. You bought that house, they get paid, and
they out.
They're out. And then when the hurricane comes, it's you and your family that has to suffer.
Yeah. I think that people, that they have to understand that these are severe situations. So if they say that it's a chance of a bad hurricane, there's no point of trying to stay at home and sit it out. It's pointless. It's pointless. Nope. You just got to be safe. So yeah, I completely agree.
See, it says right here, I just read an article in Bloomberg. It says 5 years ago, encouraged by home builders and anti-regulatory zeal, lawmakers in North Carolina joined other states in weakening building code requirements.
Wow.
Y'all did this to yourselves. In 2015, state regulators also eliminated a requirement that storm shutters should be permanently anchored. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that they passed that would have benefited them.
So they were trying to implement all these policies years prior,
right?
They
didn't do it.
And they never got to it.
Because another thing, if you hear Trump talk about all the time, he doesn't believe in global warming. So anytime anybody comes with the research, with the data, to try to warn people, they shoot it down.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's another thing that I'm scared of with that emergency alert. Like, I don't know what this dude is going to start texting. You know, he's anti-media.
Facts.
And he's all about tweeting. So he might just get up one morning and put an emergency alert out like, yo, vote for such and such. I don't know what this dude is about to do.
Man, that's kind of weird seeing how the government can send out texts like that now, like mass text messages, like vote for this person, vote for that person.
You cannot opt out.
Do you think that that's kind of controlling somewhat?
Hell yeah, but that's what they're trying to do. That's kind of scary. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to eliminate media. They're trying to eliminate thinking.
No more middleman.
They're trying to eliminate critical thinking and all that. They're just going to shoot you this information.
And see, I find it kind of funny and hypocritical at the same time how just growing up in class, they'll teach you about Nazi Germany and they'll talk about propaganda, all these different aspects. But it's like America practices those same tactics.
But we don't know about
how it is. Because like when we see the army commercials, like fight for the greatest country in the world, protect the world. Right. But lo and behold, all the wars that we were fighting in, it was
for somebody
oppressing other people, or it was from money, oil. So now seeing that we have those same practices with Trump talking about the media, no more media, and then now sending out mass text messages, man, it's like Hunger Games pretty much. And they send out stuff and it's crazy.
It's crazy,
yeah,
right?
And it's scary as well.
This is another part of the article. The Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety report found that other storm-prone states have been easing their building codes, even if it affects global warming, escalates amid increasing anti-regulatory sentiment. They don't want to believe it. And you think that because somebody built a house there that it must be okay, and they probably sell you all these dreams because you came from Arizona and it's dry there, so you can't even see like what could possibly happen. So yeah,
these people got played. And I think that now seeing this situation in particular, it taught me a lot too, because we can't study stuff just by its surface level.
No.
You have to go way deeper. So we have to ask, how come all these homes are being destroyed so quickly?
How come?
But then seeing how in 2015, 2013, they're already trying to implement policies, but it never got passed because of lobbyists. So that right there is example A in real time. So yeah, I really like that. That was very informational too.
Yep.